Hello, my name is Destiny's Penny and I teach Sunday school at the Holy Cross Church in Wollongong. In today's lesson, we'll learn about a boy who loved God so much that he always obeyed him. We will see how God rewarded him. We will also see in our story what happens when one disobeys God. But before we begin today's lesson, I would like you all to think about the people in your life that you love. These people may be your parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, godparents. Because we love these people, we want to always please them and avoid hurting them at all costs. I would like you also to think about how much you love God and how much effort you put into your daily life to please Him. Before the Israelites built the great temple of Solomon, they worshipped God inside a large tent called the tabernacle. In the tabernacle, the Israelites would bring their animals and sacrifice them to God for their sins to be forgiven. In the tabernacle, the services were performed by the priests, and the chief priest was a man called Eli. Eli had 2 sons that helped him during the service of the sacrifices. Their names were Phinehas and Hophni. The 2 sons of Eli were corrupt and showed no respect to God. They would take the meat from the sacrifices to eat for themselves, even though it was forbidden. As such, they sinned greatly before God, due to the great disrespect they had for God and the sacrifices the people made. There also lived at the time an Israelite woman called Hannah. She had a deep pain that she had no children. She would regularly go to the tabernacle and pray to God to bless her with a child. She promised God that if she had a child, she would in turn dedicate it to the service of God. Finally, God heard her prayers, and she had a beautiful baby boy called Samuel. When he grew up, his mother took him to the tabernacle to help with the sacrifices, and left him under the care of Eli. Samuel served with joy in this holy place. He was pleased with what he saw around him: the priests, the faithful, the incense, the chanting, the sacrifices. He was happy to serve wherever he was needed. He was obedient to God and those that he served under. One night, while Samuel was asleep in a corner of the tabernacle, he heard a voice, "Samuel, Samuel." He jumped up and ran to Eli's tent responding, "Here I am." "Did you call me?" he asked Eli. "What do you want?" "No," responded Eli, "I did not call for you. Go back to sleep." Samuel went back to bed and fell asleep. After a while, he heard the voice calling him again, "Samuel, Samuel." Samuel runs again and wakes up Eli. "I heard you calling for me again. What do you want?" Again, Eli confirms that he did not call for him, and Samuel again goes back to bed. When he entered the tent again, he hears the voice calling him for a 3rd time. So again, he runs to Eli's tent. Eli then realized that it was the voice of God that was calling him. So Eli tells Samuel, "Go back to your bed, and if you hear the voice calling you again, answer, 'Speak to me, Lord, for I am your servant, and I hear you.'" When Samuel returned to his bed, he heard God speaking to him. God tells Samuel that he will punish Eli's sons because of their disrespect and disobedience to God. God tells Samuel that he will become great amongst the Israelites. This is exactly what happened. Just as God said, Eli's sons were both punished, and died in a battle against the Philistines. Samuel grew up to be a great leader and a judge of the Israelite people, a very honorary position. We learn many important virtues from Samuel. The main one is obedience. Great blessings were given to Samuel. Why was this? Because Samuel was obedient to the Lord and loved him and had total trust in God. This is also possible for us today. If we love God with all our heart and are obedient to Him, God will give us many blessings. It is the aim of our life to learn what God wants from us and to put it into practice. Some of the ways God reveals His will is through the Holy Bible, Christian books, as well as regular attendance at church and Sunday school. Since we love God so much, we should do everything to make Him happy with our actions and our choices in our daily life. In our daily prayers, we should never forget to ask God to help us to always do His will. By doing this, we become more obedient to God. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and always remember the importance of love, obedience, and our continual struggle to do the will of God. Take care, stay safe, and remember to complete the activity sheet.
Get thee out, God,